So I had this wired before, but I didn't really have this set up in the software, so I dug it back out of the box real quick to do that, and I was going to show you how it works. On the ground outputs, the very top one, user output 4 for shift kill. Um, that's what's wired to the solenoid right now. And if I go over and I click test, you can see that little LED light up there. That's the shift solenoid. Um, so once you set up like a custom user output, over under outputs, if you go to this user output now, shift kill, there's a ton of conditions that I have in there. And basically, the way it's set up is that it's looking for like one of two things, either an auto shift or a button input. So you got A and B and C, which is basically throttle position more than like 50%, gear is less than 6, so you don't try to shift it into 7th gear, RPM greater than whatever you want it to shift at, and then or shift cut active, which is what we get when we push the horn button in, equal to 1 basically just means that it's on. And then also here, same thing, gear less than 6. So even button shifting, where it'll prevent you from trying to shift into 7th gear. So from here, if you go over to somewhere, motorsports under shift cut, that's where you can actually set up how you want that to work. You know, whether it's ignition and fuel, minimum RPM, before you can actually push the button, delay time, reactivation time, some of the similar stuff to like ECU editor or whatever. But then you actually have some tables too. So you can make any table in Max ECU based on anything that you want. So like you could change this to be whatever, RPM, TPS, whatever. Right now, and again, this might be overkill, but I did it like sort of gear based and boost based. So you could have kind of this big ass table here that says, oh, okay, in 3rd gear, you want whatever kill time. But like if you're at a much higher boost level compared to a much lower boost level, like maybe you want a little bit more, a little bit less. And I don't really know what the answer is there, but I have it set super long right now, 2 seconds, just so I can show it to you. Um, And then over here in this real-time screen, I typed in shift, and that'll bring up all the stuff that it sees for shift-related stuff. So like there's this analog input, which is basically just the input when I push the button. If shift cut is going to happen, this active will go to a 1. And then anyway, so hold on, I'll pause this and then show you how it works. Okay, so what I'm going to do is push the shift button, which is going to end up being under this bottom 2 conditions, this condition D and E. And sorry, I realize it's kind of fuzzy there. So you can see right now, gear is less than 6, so that's happy. As soon as I make this guy happy, the shift cut active, then it's going to actually grab the solenoid. So if I just go and push the horn button right now, you'll see that guy goes to active. Shift cut's going to stay active for 2 seconds. I'm going to hit it again so you can see shift cut active for 2 seconds there. And then when I do that, you'll see that the LED comes on for 2 seconds. Okay, the other way that you can make it happen is through the top 3 things. So throttle position greater than 50%, which it is. I got it at 100 right now. Gear less than 6, which it is. And then RPM greater than 10.8. So if I run the RPM up now, which is the guy right there, 9600, you'll see now that the shift cut's active, and then it went back off. So I'm going to keep just falling down below, going back up. And then when I do that, you'll see the LED come on for 2 seconds, and then it'll go, well, the shift cut stays active for 2 seconds. The solenoid's going to hold until the RPM falls below, just like my shift light stuff does. So anyway, kind of long-winded, but I figured I'd show that to you, and then at least I'll get that in the ECU and save it for you, at least as a starting point. But you can kind of see the way like the output stuff works. It's not super intuitive at first. Like in the output configuration screen, you select sort of what you want to do. that pops up over here, but then you also have to go into like the motorsport stuff into the shift kill section in order to set up your kill times. And whether you want it boost based, gear based, or if you just want one value or, whatever.